main stage to be like, if they're going to reach a lot of success here in the series, they want to get like a wipe, and then they also want to keep rolling that through and get the spawn slays, and you're not going to be able to do that as well on especially Construct.
And look at this, Gabriel and Fantasy off the break there. Gas pedal down as they fly past the Mohawk and try to get across. Gabriel is going to be the one that does get to the flag and start that first pull. Does lose a teammate, though, on Cannon, so needs to play this a little bit slow.
Yeah, but incredibly efficient here from GMS. You can tell that they can just roll with a couple kills and turn that into the objective moving across the map.
Right, and you're going to expect to see that here. Goofy, top, middle, very comfortable position. This is exactly what we're talking about here. When that game does slow down, it's going to give him all the time in the world to move with the snipe. Looking for that player that's hanging around L4.
Yep, just looking for L4. And I believe one team just got sniped, but the damage has been done. They were able to get that flag cap as they're just buying time. So it goes to show that in many cases, you just need to get the right slays and you can hold players off. Right there, the full threat of Goofy just being their top center prevent two different players moving over from L4 and R4 towards the center of the map.
Yep, that presence simply there made a big difference. Of course, he does have help as well. As you see, Fantasy is also top middle with that sniper rifle. So a dual sniper rifle positioning here all the way at top mid, which is quite dangerous for a Ginyu Force player spawning back cannon.
Yep, spawn back in. This is probably the most notorious spawn trap here on Narrows, is as soon as you get a few slays like that, you look and see if they spawn cannon. Because even if they do try to get that first BR shot off on you, these top players, they're going to be able to get their zoom. They're going to be able to get that zoom again and finish off the player.
Gabriel actually dropping down to power up with the flag there for momentarily. Going to kind of continue to move that. I believe there is a player down there going for the return, but they're well aware and on the grab as we take a look across. That flag is now down, but should be capped any moment. Yes, indeed, Gabriel sacrifices his life, but not before capping that second flag. Very quick, early up 2-0 in under 2 minutes.
Yeah, and here's one of the first chances we might see Ginyu Force get some control of the map, because we did see 3 make that 4 players fall down for GMS. So now they're going to be able to move across the map and see if they can actually deal us some damage. Looks like they're able to actually get over on the flag, but I believe their first player died over on the flag. And that's the most crucial player, I would argue. Whoever's the furthest up on your team and you're making a push like that has to be in a safer position. Because if that player dies, you lose all threat on the enemy objective. However, as long as you have that player still alive, either at the power-up or near the flag, the other team cannot relax. They realize that if one of their players die, or if they make one bad push, that flag is moving across the map.
Goofy gets some great help there from Gabriel, bottom middle, which is going to keep, once again, 2 sniper rifles in the hand of the GMS side. One in the hand of Fantasy, and one in the hand of Gabriel as well. Great shot there from Fantasy. He's going to start this run and continue putting on a show with the sniper rifle. Almost makes it 3, but has to retreat for a moment.
It's crazy how well he's doing these no-scopes in, I would say, high percent situations. Right there, it wasn't too risky to go for that.
Right.
It's not like certain montage you see where these players are just jumping out in the middle of the air, going for 360 no-scopes. This is a very smart play. Just shooting over at snipe side. And just like that, they're going to bring in that third and final flag to close out game number 1, 3-0.
Making it look easy, constant control. And one thing we also got to talk about is really the way that they're prioritizing that S1 at the end, right? It's not all the time that you see during a flagpole, players putting 3 players in S1, forcing that cannon door. I mean, 1 player potentially pushing up top could really wreak havoc on that setup. However, must have been enough information in the team comms to know that that was the right angle to prioritize at that moment. But you could also say that Halo 3 is a game that kind of works that way. If you send players together in positions, you're able to do some damage as long as everyone's kind of watching the same sightlines.
Yeah, as long as they have the right second step after that in mind, because you know, if you send too many people in such a bad position without being able to disperse from there and spread out or move the objective, you put yourself in bad position at that moment, because you don't have the same sort of movement abilities and speed that you can move across the map. Right.
So a little bit of a promise there from the guys on the side of Ginyu Force, as we saw, like you said, there was a moment where we saw 4 dead, but unsurprisingly, GMS so quick off the break. They eliminate the player that was on that flag landing, taking him out immediately, really putting so much pressure on Holic, who is alive S1. So great, really systematic play from the GMS side as they're able to get right back into the swing of things, right back into control.
And it seemed like they kind of repeated the same play over and over again. You notice every single time they pulled that flag, they would take over the back lobby of Ginyu Force. They would get a Slayer to, then instantly run that flag towards S1, and then run that all towards bomb center. So it seems like they would take continuously the same route, get control of the same spots, and that's a good sign. It shows that they're well practiced. They have a play set in mind that they're going for and that they're trying to execute.
And also great discipline that we saw, like you said, when players like Gabriel and Fantasy are pulling the flag with Snipe, they're going for that high percentage S1 angle. They're going to look for it really quick, and the second it doesn't happen, they back off back to flag. They wait for the help. The help comes S1, and they continue the run.
Yeah, and many times, too, even when they like you said, they miss that no-scope, at most they're taking one full BR burst from the opponent, and then they're able to just back away. So like I said, very high percentage and smart challenges when it comes to no-scopes.
Certainly going to expect to see more of the same from them in this next game. Reminder, it's Construct Slayer for game number 2, and historically we've seen this game type one of the Slayer game types that can really slow down, or in the case of these two teams, we could see the guys on GMS just play this game type really fast.
Yeah, what determines this one either being fast or slow is on the team that does not have control of the map. It's more up to them if they want to wait for that camo to come on up, or if they just want to go lift challenge over and over again. It's all up to them. So we're going to have to find out. GMS, when they get full control, if they're just going to say thank you to all these birthday presents flying up the lifts, or if they're going to have to work for some of those slays and go down to the bottom of the map.
That's right. Now off the break, you see Gabriel there lifting close, but we do see an early grab there of rockets for Ginyu Force. They have him in lobby, and we'll see if they can put him to use here. It's a great trade there as we take a look who that was. That was Goofy rushing in from close purple to force that rocket trade, but a little bit of an early lead here for the guys on Ginyu Force, 5-2.
Yeah, and they're in strong position right now. They have control of both lifts. They have GMS. It looks like they're spawning either mid-gold or having to push up that open ramp. So decent position, but we're going to have to see if they can execute from here, because despite having the better spots here on some of these lifts, it feels like some of these members are getting picked off left and right.
Yep, and double there from Goofy is a big play as they go up there. You see 11-5 there. So I do apologize. I believe we do have a little bit of a POV swap waiting to happen there, because it was actually the guys on GMS here leading now 11-6 as they're back 12-6 now. As you see here, after only 1 minute of play, already doubling their opponent's score.
Yeah, that's a bit surprising. Well, not entirely surprising, but we're just like, all right, they came up to a strong start there, and then, of course, we find out that is GMS just dominating business as usual. But still only 5-kill lead. A nice little flank right there that caught that player off guard. One of the tougher parts, even in later years of Halo 3 here, is getting some of those callouts and knowing how to watch certain angles when someone's over at like R1 to know if they're going over towards sword side or towards front glass.
That is surprising. It's a perfect nade there as Goofy sits in the back of open perp. Thought he had that kill, doesn't get the melee, gets taken down. Unlucky for him, and as a result, the game's still pretty close here. Only 19-14 as they're going to be waiting now. We're going to see the guys on Ginyu Force wait for this power up here, bottom mid, only 10 seconds on that.
And Zerka just cannot believe that that weapon was not reloaded. One of my biggest pet peeves, too, is when my teammate would drop a sniper or rockets and not tell me if it's loaded or not, because that's going to change how I'm going to play. If I'm going straight for those rockets, or if I'm going to let those sit on the ground and bait them.
It's true. Rockets need to be reloaded is a great call out. Rockets are down bottom middle. I'm not sure if they need to be reloaded. Great call out. Rockets down bottom middle without specifying whether they need to be reloaded or not. Could be dangerous. But here we do have Ginyu Force, speaking of dangerous, with the camo going up the sword forks, maybe able to make a play here into lobby.
Yep, and I like this route. It's a pretty typical route, I would say, at this point for camo.
No!
And unfortunately, sometimes when you're thinking that back smack, and you don't finish off the kill. So.
Unlucky. Very unlucky there for Ginyu Force, and to be honest, it could be a turning point here, because this game has been respectable up until this point, but now, just like that, an 11-kill difference, 28-17. That camo play in lobby could have been big. GMS shuts it down right away. Fantasy with sniper rifle in hand. Catches the spawners mid-gold.
Yep, and this is the situation we were talking about earlier, Bravo, where Ginyu Force, they are stuck on the bottom of the map. Are they going to try to slow it down, time their pushes with a camo, or are they just going to keep flying on up? And it looks like they're just going to spread those wings and fly.
Fantasy should not be alive as he flies off of closed street there with a perfect nade into closed perp. Now it's a 17 kill game. 37-22 is the score, and it's gotten out of hand real quick.
That's what's dangerous here in Construct. I mean, Construct, despite even having the camo at the bottom of the map like that, it can be one of the toughest maps to retake control.
Oh, it's a tough map to push on.
Because even when you have camo, there's limited angles that player can come up. They come up one of the sword legs, or they come up open ramp. Or they lift, and they're clearly not going to lift.
They're not great. Finish there from Gabriel as the player tries to escape into closed perp. Finds two players, though, top gold. Might need to retreat. It's good team shot there, but Goofy here on the flank as well. A 20-kill game. 43-23 is going to tee up this no-scope beatdown. Never questioned it. Did not panic. Hits the headshot for the double. Looking for three. Hits the body shot. Might have some help here but it finally gets taken out. Bait and switch there. 4 kills to go for GMS in game number 2.
But the damage has been done with that control as you look at that 21-point lead here for GMS. They're going to close this one out with a steak dinner.
Without any issue really now. The guys on Ginyu Force trying to keep it respectable, but now it's Goofy's turn to try to put this camo up to use with this kind of lead. Likely going to fly up gold, but he even takes the discipline to go all the way up back gold. 2 kills to go.
Yep, going to push on over with Gab here on open ramp. And at this point, you take whatever spot you can get when you're trying to retake control. Ideally, it's one of the purple lifts. However, you'll take gold if that's available as well. Any way that you can get your teammates up to the top half of the map.
I'm not sure how Goofy was getting sniped in the back there. I'm not sure if Gabriel was at open and missing, but 1 kill to go here in lobby. Should be able to pick it up. Yes, indeed. That is going to be it. 50-29. Dave, I don't want to say it was all about the camo there in lobby, but it might have been all about the camo there in lobby, as that really was the turning point. The game was within about 5 or 6 kills up until that point, and GMS really took that opportunity to run away with the lead and start to play, you know, a little bit more free, a little more careless, like you said, taking their wings and deciding to fly.
Yeah, when you have camo and you're going for backsmacks within Halo 3, you have to be really precise with your movement and your timing with that. I've had plenty of times back in the day, after having so many opportunities where I hit someone in the side and trade melees and end up dying. Yep. I've had so many times where I sometimes even revert just to go into 2-shot melee, just trying to do 2-shot beatdown just to secure that kill, guarantee it, and not put myself in this 50-50 scenario after a melee trade. But more so, it's just, like you're not guaranteed to get those backsmacks like you would if you could like sprint or thrust around on them. So you definitely have to be very concerned about which way you're taking on that player and choose exactly when and how you're going to engage that. Because if you try to go for that backsmack every single time, more than half the time it's probably not going to work out. These players know how to position themselves well, especially when there's camo still a threat on the map. Absolutely,
As you said, if you're going for a back whack in Halo 3, I was going to say first, let Walsh and I say a prayer for you before you go for that back whack. Give us a moment to give you some good vibes, because you're going to need it. Because if there's anything we know is that your guess is as good as ours, whether it's going to be a back whack or not. 50-29 in Construct Slayer is our game number 2 score, and we're headed to Guardian Oddball for game number 3. And with the way things have gone, Dave, GMS really should be able to lock down this map and end this one pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're going to close it out 3-0 here in the series. But I also did see moments of hope there from Ginyu Force, so I wouldn't expect this to just be like, all right, GMS gets one setup and they close out the game. Sure, they'll probably get a setup and secure quite a bit of time all at once, but I don't see it just being like a one-and-done sort of thing.
All right, kicking things off now with Zerka, who's going to focus right away on camo, able to clean up that kill, finds a player there, hits a headshot there for the double, looks for 3, has help. That's going to be a triple and a trade. Teammate there will be there to grab Sniper. That's going to be Fantasy.
Yep, Fantasy was happy to let those two duke it out and not help his teammates. Like, oh, you lost? I guess I'll grab that Sniper then. No, man.
Oh, jeez. So unfortunate. I'll grab this. Checking all sorts of angles here and staying alive. A little early lead here for GMS as well, as they're holding that ball bottom green. They're going to play it. Gabriel, wise play, because he does have that camo in hand as well, trying to stay alive desperately in back green. But Fantasy also watching his own back with Mauler and Snipe in hand.
Fantasy just doing a great job holding down the Snipe tower. One thing that's a bit surprising is it feels like GMS has had significant amount of kills, but doesn't feel like they're actually able to translate this into a massive amount of time. But it looks like they're finally able to get maybe this near perfect setup, because one thing that's kind of tough here on Guardian is one little piece of your setup falls and you no longer have this perfect strong setup. Guardian relies on every player being in the right spot.
Also, certainly a big portion of it kind of about that ball being top middle. If that ball's stuck top middle, it's very similar to lockout, right? If that ball is at top middle and you don't have the person that's right in the position to grab it, it could take you 20, 25 seconds to get a player that can actually get to top middle. So it could take a little bit of time to really get that set up there. Holic take it down. Back S2 there by Gabriel, and that is going to be a play ball, 40-0 for GMS.
Yep, and here's kind of that scenario I talked about before, where it's like, yeah, they're able to get a significant amount of time, but they're not able to straight up close out that game. And so we're going to see what Ginyu Force can do now that they almost have control of Snipe Tower, but there's still a player lurking there with the Mauler. Still one shot, so actually able to clear up Gabriel, which is huge, but the damage has been done. Gabriel not only picked up a kill and got another player to 0 shields, also just bought time for his teammates to shoot these players in the back. So there is no hope of Ginyu Force getting a full set at this moment. And if there's a time to be on the opposite side of the map, it's when that camel's popping.
I mean, they played that perfectly. Take a look at that, right? Not only do they perfectly pre-nade bottom green for the drop down. Oh, here's the camo. But I was actually going to say there's something to be said in Halo 3 for just also bailing and getting out of dodge with that camo and avoiding the scenarios we talked about, right? Here and now, Gabriel here, back S2, and he wins that battle. Eventually gets the back with camo.
Yeah, half of camo is staying alive. The other half is actually doing the damage and helping your team secure the kills. Because as long as you're staying alive, you are buying opportunistic time for your teammates. That whole moment when Gabriel left, top gold with camo, that player is still calling out
Camo's here somewhere.
Camo gold.
Camo's here somewhere.
His teammate gets back smacked over a snipe, and that's so infuriating to be like, oh yeah, he was at gold, huh?
Yep, camo's all the way at S2. 65-2 is the score here in favor of GMS. The guys making it look way too easy here. Goofy trying to stay alive. Lots of presence here all the way across the map at both S2 and gold. Great shots, though, as we take a look across the map there from Natural Power. He's able to stay alive, win that battle, but still, long way to go on the scoreboard for Ginyu Force.
Yeah, long ways to go indeed. Gabriel, once again, just trying to bail and stay alive. Great secure of that kill. I believe that was Kifflom who ended up finishing off that kill on Gabriel. But there's plenty of times, like you see, these guys are they're picking and choosing their battles. They're not just going to find their first person and engage. They're going to try to trust their teammates. They're going to say, all right, the longer I stay alive, the more damage I do, the more time I buy my teammates, the more good that's going to come of it.
Holic, the only player alive, going to go for the play ball here. Manages to get that play ball at Garden as well, so that ball is going to be top mid. Gabriel going to fly towards it, though, and try to bring it right back to S2 before the opponents are spawning.
And that's one of the problems, too, is play balls obviously are very important throughout the game. There are some times, though, that teams give up way too much in order to get that play ball across the map. There's times where they just sacrifice too many lives and give it too much positioning.
3 dead there for the side of GMS. It's a really great snipe push out of the side of Ginyu Force. They win this S4 battle. Also had great presence at back S2. That's going to lead to a little bit more ball time, and here we are now, 75-21 with over 10 minutes on the clock, making a little bit of a game out of it.
Yeah, making a bit of a game out of it. Looks like Holic's here, obviously facing a bunch of pressure towards bottom green. Never felt comfortable the whole entire time. You notice how he was over towards that elbow, I would say a good 12 or so seconds.
Sloppy.
And yeah, that's a sloppy jump. I was going to say that whole point with the Holic being over there elbow only got maybe, what, 4-ish seconds throughout that 10 or so seconds we watched because was focused on throwing grenades, trying to fight that person bottom middle, and eventually got flanked through bottom green.
Zerka camo eventually going to run out. Maybe a little bit of a blessing there because they would have had to do, if they had any more camo, likely had to switch that ball carrier out to take full advantage of that camo. But now 94-21 with a pretty comfortable S2 and green setup that is oddly mostly positioned at front blue and at camo.
Yeah, quite odd one. It feels like they substituted a couple spots. The person who
put
should
this
normally
guy
be
here. This recipe calls for, well, we could switch it. We could switch this out, right?
Yeah. I mean, it calls for snipe 2, but I'll just throw a little front blue.
Yeah, front blue sounds like snipe 2 if you say it fast enough. But really, this is just testament to how strong their control is of this map and how comfortable they are slaying. Being able to put a player out of camo can be risky against a very good team because that player's a little bit isolated. You have to push them together, but as you see, as far as non-traditional setup elements go, that camo angle is pretty safe because it's hard to wrap around that camo corner.
Yeah, and each player is actually playing the situation perfectly. In that case, you saw how Zerka was still aware of players potentially being able to spawn bottom green. Also knew that his only threat coming over from that side would someone be going from bomb center over towards bomb green. So
Right.
he was watching the angle and was also in a strong enough position over on elbow to push over towards snipe in case someone did threaten that area. So just everyone reacting perfectly to those different threats, and it's important for these players and teams to have these like malleable setups. You can't just rely on one exact set and be like, all right, we do this every single time. This keeps other teams on their toes. They don't know if they're going to have someone over at green, if that person's going to be over at front blue, if it's going to be over at camo, and that, they're going to have to find out by, in many cases, losing a life or two to figure out where these players from GMS are during their setups.
Fantasy pushing top green right now with camo right on your screen, actually. And he's going to work together with teammates to take out that player at top green. Now, as Holic also finds a player on elbow as well. I do believe we saw a play ball. So it's a good play ball from Ginyu Force, but really a better push from the side of GMS. They're also going to grab that ball and bring it right back to green.
Oh, my God. And 3 of them over at top gold. Fantasy's liking the looks of this. Going to hopefully let someone just push on out. misses the back smack. I believe still got the melee because I saw someone at 0 shields there, but unfortunately was not able to clear up that kill. Gabriel decides to go for a full-on rotate with his ball.
That's
They
rare.
don't even need to hold snipe and green if they got blue and gold.
That is quite a base trade there as they fly all the way to front. Blue and gold, even though they lost a player at camo, no harm done now as they watch this gold angle as well. Pretty non-traditional Guardian ball antics we're seeing here. Very rarely do you see someone lift the ball and have 2 players simultaneously push gold blind like that. It didn't really work out for him.
No, it didn't. It also wasn't the worst rotation because there are certain times where your team loses control. If your team loses control snipe and you have someone over green, a lot of times people desperately try to move that ball over towards gold.
Right.
But Gabriel didn't seem to really receive too many shots over from top center snipe side, which you'd normally see when rotating the ball from that lift.
Holic trying to lay down some shots on this S2 angle. Instead of grabbing the ball, goes S3, a smart play, but gets taken down there by a 2-shot beatdown. Oh, natural power now trying to make something happen. He also falls at back S2. That time to Zerka, holding down S2 single-handedly. Another kill for him.
Yeah, in 2 different situations, I feel like these players haven't gotten off their melees onto Zerka, which is a massive mistake. It's easy to get greedy in Halo 3 and think, all right, I need to get the full 2 bursts into somebody and get that melee to guarantee the trade.
Right.
But as soon as that melee comes at you, you have to take the trade. You have to take that free shield damage because you're going down either way. It's just a matter of you're going to help your teammates out a bit more.
Fantasy blind on the, oh no! Blind on the S2 to blue angle, also flies all the way to the S4 angle, hits both of those no scopes, showing off why he's been such a talked about player here. Of course, not only his performance in Atlanta, but also such strong performances online as well and putting on a show here in St. Louis.
And right there, that's usually what happens when someone tries to rotate over from green towards camo. If the other team has control. That's an overkill from Fantasy, and was that just quick back-to-back kills with grenades that snipe?
I mean, we got.
I missed a couple earlier parts of that.
Yep, we got to get the replay guys in the back, making sure we pick that up for the end of the series. An overkill there from Fantasy after an amazing set of plays from Gabriel as well. 199, 200 points on the board now to 39. And once again, it took them a little bit longer to get there in this game, Dave. They haven't had as comfortable control as they had in the rest of the series, but GMS still looking very strong.
Yep, and looks like that was an accidental reload there from Fantasy just as he was about to pull that trigger over that player on top center. Fantasy eventually losing that snipe, but the damage has been done once again. They just have such a massive lead right now that I really don't know what Ginyu Force can do. It's still mathematically possible for them to bring this one back, but just the amount of slays that GMS is putting on the map, putting on the board, it's going to be really tough to come back because in order to get a massive amount of time on guarding oddball, you need the slays.
You do, and you need to be getting those first kills when you have the setup, and we really haven't seen too much of that. Another shot from Gabriel. Gets some help on blue as well. He's going to go for the no-scope on Camel. That one doesn't connect this time, but not to worry because they still have that great control. But finally, losing the player bottom green, that ball player was alone. And as a result, we're going to see a little bit more time here for the side of Ginyu Force before this game's over.
Ooh, and it looks like Gabriel getting out BR'd there. I'm not sure exactly which player that was. I want to say it's Infury, who was able to secure those shots and get that kill, which is a bit uncharacteristic because I felt like Gabriel was far ahead in that, and he's known for such a great shot here in Halo 3.
Here we go, Fantasy now, Camo. Now bottom gold might make this push towards green. We'll keep an eye on him. Looks like Kifflom anticipating the potential bottom gold push. Fantasy taking his time. He does have a player S1 as well, so it should be a pretty comfortable push for him. Kifflom now at the stump does not have an angle on Camo. Here comes Fantasy.
Yeah, Fantasy pushing on in. Getting that kill and does not get the play ball, so Fantasy's going to happily secure that little bit of extra time right there and gets the play ball, but also a bit unfortunate getting picked off there. Also was caught in between a really difficult situation because there was a player coming up from the snipe side. There was obviously someone that either had an angle from, I believe it was Camo or bottom center. So really didn't have many escape routes.
Here we go now, 2:27. You see time ticking away. Only a little bit to go before they close this out. They'll certainly do so before that time limit expires.
Yes, they will. I believe one player did sneak around towards bottom tree, so that's going to be a massive kill right there. And Goofy does close out that kill and is going to secure a bit more time. So this could be exactly what they need to just close out the rest of this game.
That's a big, big kill there. Lots of confidence from Goofy. Only 9 seconds to go. Really single-handedly holding down back snipe right now. Trying to hit these no-scopes. So much confidence from these guys. He has help with snipe as well. They should be able to grab this time. Shields are weak. Drops it though. Does still have snipe in hand. Ball is under control. Only 3 seconds to go.
Yep, 3 seconds to go. They're going to close that out 1-0. That's going to be GMS. Welcome with that one, 250 to 43.